stuff like that. Because, he was just really into it. Well, I used to go out there with him, and he had no problem showing me what he was doing and what he wasn't doing and stuff like that. And then I had a little spot there so I can play with the solder iron and burn things. Yeah. So, and that's kind of how I picked up a lot of stuff because of him. And then he got into CB radio back then. And back then, CB radio, you had to be licensed. And if you got a license, you were also able to have unit numbers. So I forgot what his license was, but he made me a unit. So I was like unit 2 or something. So his base, which was a mobile working on a power supply, was, basically the main system. His car was unit 1, and my car was unit 2. So you would say whatever your call sign was back then, blah, 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 unit 2, and then you talk to whoever you want to talk to. And then I started to drive now. It's starting to get to where I'm driving, and now you're starting to look for distance, so now you want to start getting into the radio, and geez, I'm going to tweak it up a little bit, and you start getting a little bit more curious, and that's basically how I got started into it, and just by following him around for the first couple of years. He never got into the CB part really big other than talking on it because it was different. But I started getting into that a little bit bigger, which I do that anyway. I start something, I got to go full bore. I look at it this way. If I can't give it a decent shot to try, how can I say that I tried if I didn't give it a shot? You follow me? It's just one of those things. You buy a radio and you go out and you buy a little Cobra 19 radio because you want to try it out and see how it is. Well, that little Cobra 19 radio, even though it's supposed to do the same as everything else, it's not going to. I hated it. I can't talk. Well, that's because you never gave it a chance. You didn't buy a good radio to start with, And, at that point, did you research the antennas or did you just buy an antenna? There's things you have to do a little work on, And then if you buy a good radio, chances are you'll recoup your money or most of your money faster than if you buy a piece of junk. Because nobody's going to want to buy a used piece of junk. So, and that's the way I've always looked at it. How often have I really talked on this? And this is the second time I've tried doing this. I got my ham ticket back in, what the hell was it? 81, I think, 82? I don't remember. And I set up a radio. I had a little in the bedroom. I knocked the wall down between the two bedrooms, and I made it like a big master suite. I had a little area over there that I can go in my little corner and talk. I had a beam on the roof and lived on a mountain. It was, And then I think I talked 2 or 3 times on it, and that was it. Next thing you know, what do I need it for? It was done, I accomplished what I was looking to accomplish. I so-called conquered it, and I was done with it. I was bored after that. And up until about 3 years ago, or whatever, I really never got on it again. And, the next thing you know, the wife bought me the Yaesu for, I don't know, my birthday or something. I think it was my birthday. All right. Now, I did have a radio on the boat. I bought an Icon. I think it was a 7600. And I used the bow rail as an antenna. But again, I talk on it 2 or 3 times. I'm not down there on the boat to talk on the radio. I'm on the boat to enjoy it. However, if we went over to the Thimble Islands, and I tied up on our mooring over there, sometimes I'd just go down into the forward suite, and that's where I had the radio. And key up and talk to somebody, in another part of the country or something. I'm right out there on the water. And then I dropped the anchor to give me a good grounding. And everything worked out fine. But, then I said, you know what, so I ended up selling that. I got rid of it. All right. But it's all basically self-learned with me. That's basically all it was. I mean, it got towards the end, I was into it so much that I started doing repairs out of my house. And I was going to my uncle's house to show him how to do things. I mean, I could never compete with what he was doing as far as it goes with, atom smashers and stuff like that. But because I started getting more and more into the transmission part of it, I started going over to his place and tuning up his radios. All right, so now this is either going to work or not. It can work if I can get it on here. I'm trying to figure out which way it screws. What I did has nothing to do with the way this fits. Come on, which way do you go? Here we go. Okay, so the camera is turned off and this other piece is turned off. And right now I've got 6.7 volts going into it. According to the meter, I'm probably around 6.9. Let's hook up the meter here real quick and leave it on. Now on this one I don't care if I use a couple of different colors. I use black and yellow, I guess. Yellow being the hot side, black being the ground. This way I can monitor the voltage at the same time. But that's kind of how it worked with me. It was just one of those things to where, oh, that was a smart move, Buzz. Why don't you try that one? I mean, I built one of the first Echo boards out there. Echo box, basically. Okay, 6.9, that's what I figured. See it? 6.7, so we're 2 points off or so. Alright, so now, let me see, if I put this on my shirt, I'm going to sit around and see that there's some body change. But, again, depending on how my shirt fits, if I got bacon neck, which apparently I do, alright, so right now everything is off, and this is a critical moment. So we're going to turn this on. Ah, man, I hate doing this. Okay, that's on. Now I'd rather see it not work at all than to do anything that's going to destroy the camera. Alright, let's turn this on. Alright. Change battery pack. Well, we know we have low voltage here, so let's see. Let's turn this down. Let's bring the voltage up. Now, I was just thinking of something. Where's the battery? See, the battery is power and negative. Right? They're both power, just that one's the positive side and one's the negative side. But there's also two more terminals in there. And I'm wondering if those two terminals have anything to do with the showing that the battery is low or not low to indicate of shutting the camera on or off. Because if that's the case, then this may not work at all. Alright, so we're up to 7.6, 7.8 according to that one, 7.6 according to the one down here. If you can see it, I don't know. Let's put it over here. Okay, so this one over here is showing 7.8, if you can see it, and this one down here is showing 7.6. Turn it on again. Aha! It's working. Now let's bring it up a little bit. Okay. Because now that it's on, the voltage dropped a little bit, so I wanted to bring the voltage up a little bit. You see that? It's working. And there's my finger blocking it. So right now we are not working on a battery. We are working, well, we're working on this over here, 12 volts, which is going through this, which is dropping it down to 7.8, in this case 7.9. You notice they're starting to stabilize a little bit. Now the battery light is still flipping over here, so I don't know exactly what that's going to do or not do. But let's see now if I hit the record button, if I got to turn the voltage up or not. Now the voltage seems to be stable at this point. The amps are flickering, if you can see them down here. But other than that, it seems to be doing okay. Now I'm recording a blur right down here because it's recording down there. You know, basically this. So I'm not going to see much. But we'll have enough to let me know if it's actually going to do what it needs to do or not. But that's good. So we have accomplished. It worked. Da-da-da-da! Another successful operation without blowing up the camera. I mean, that was taking a chance. It really was. But according to the theory behind what I was doing, it was either going to work or not. I didn't expect it to really smoke. But you never know, because you don't know if you screwed up someplace along the way. So anyway, now I can put that up there like that for a minute. And let's focus this in a little bit. Okay. Okay, and it's kind of like just running something through it to show that we are recording and it's not just a snapshot. Okay, so now we're done. So now I'm going to turn this off. Bingo. I am going to have to put a switch on this. And do I want to use this? Probably, because right now we know it's working. So, do I want to mount this onto here somehow? Well, I really don't need to. What I can do is I can mount this over here someplace. Because if I use this, it's probably going to be, well, there's the, you know, am I going to use it just in here? Or am I going to use it where the saws are? Because if so, this has to be able to move with it. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out. Well, you know what? If I put this on that magnetic stand, I can mount this to the stand. And then if I want to take off the camera, I just have to unscrew this, throw the battery in it, and I'm ready to go portable. So that may be the way to work it. So in other words, if I take this thing, which is what I had that hooked up to, and I can mount that to this. This way, when I just tie into voltage, it's automatically going through that. So that might be an option. Alright, so let's take the card out of this. Let's plug it in over here. Now what the hell is this? Oh, Thunderbird. I got to get rid of this Hitman. I got to get rid of that, and get rid of that. Okay. I gotta put that little light in down here. I keep forgetting.